Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find a link in the description of the video and my bio section and social media accounts. As far as the put to call ratio, it's at 0.61. It's nothing spectacular. It's not very low, not very high. The economic calendar for the week, Monday, don't see anything. Tuesday, don't see anything. Wednesday, we get FOMC at Wednesday, and we got Powell this week. We get statements, press conference. Yeah, so this is going to be a big FOMC on Wednesday. And Thursday, unemployment claims in the morning and flash manufacturing PMI at 9:45. And on Friday, Powell speaking at 9 o'clock a.m. Why is he speaking at 9 a.m.? Of course, I click on the wrong thing. What's he speaking for? Deliver opening remarks at a Fed and listens to an event in Washington, D.C. Doesn't really. But yeah, 9 a.m. before the market opens. So FOMC is probably the only big thing to really watch out for on Wednesday. So we'll have to see what happens. As far as VIX, it's still over 14. It's hard to say where it's going to go. Usually when you have these tail candles, they like to come back down. A tail comes back down, tail comes down, tail comes down. We get two tail candles right here. So we may drop down to 13 or even down to 12.5 or even below 12. So have to keep an eye on that on VIX. Don't really have much going on until FOMC, so the market could just gap and grind. The thing I really hate the most about the market is it just gaps and grinds and doesn't do anything, and so those just makes it really hard to trade. SPY is way overbought, way outside the Kelvin channel on the weekly. I mean, hopefully we're going to get something that will surprise the market on Wednesday, and we get some action this week. So. But until FOMC, we're probably going to gap and grind. So I would watch it over 511 for push to 515. All-time high is 518. Probably get pushed to 520 plus. If they pump the market before FOMC, it's probably going to dump for FOMC. If they dump it before FOMC, it's probably going to rebound. It's usually what the telltale is for FOMC. So Monday and Tuesday's actions will probably dictate what's going to happen on FOMC day. So it's rare to see the market take off Monday and Tuesday and FOMC take off too. It's kind of rare. It doesn't usually happen too often, but it does happen. Never say never. So, but if it does manage to drop, I'd watch it underneath 508 for push to 505. It's underneath the 502 area. We got a gap fill down here at 500. So then we get 490, 495, 490, 485, 480. It's for some reason to get to 480 seems like we need to have like some kind of really major event just to even get it to drop $10 lately. So I mean, we'll have to see what happens. I don't have much hope for much to happen this week until FOMC. I just it's not really looking forward to this week because I'm just getting kind of tired of this gap and narrow range days. I'm not feeling it. I don't like it. So I'm kind of pessimistic about the Monday and Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. BA, you kind of got like a double bottom here right around this 180. It bounced hard over here. We'll have to see if it does it again. I mean, obviously went below 180, went down to 176, but once it did, it kind of took off. We'll have to see if it actually does do that. So I'll watch it over 184. For push to 190, 195, 200 for BA. So keep an eye on that. Meta just it's I just saw that it was getting investigated for having drugs on its site. People are selling drugs on its site, so they're getting investigated for that criminally. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But maybe the news will bring down Meta, but I doubt it. Nothing seems to bring down the market whatsoever. But watching on these 480, gets into 480 to 470, 465. down to 460, 455. 455 is gap support from earnings. If it does manage to break below that, we have a gap fill down here, down to the 400 area, but I don't think it's going to break that. It just, I don't see much downside. I mean, there's lots of downside there, but just we cannot get any consistent downside. Anytime we have a red candle or a red day, we get met with a V rally or a strong next day green day. So I just expecting more of the same, of nothing happening until something happens. So Microsoft, I got a tail candle on the weekly, rejecting this fourth. Well, I didn't get to 480, but 425 area we got rejected hard. Below 420, I would watch it underneath Friday's low. Well, I could say 415, but push to 410, 405, 400. 400 being a big area, especially on the weekly. Gets below 400, we could see 395, 380 on the weekly on that. So 400 is going to be a pretty big number for Microsoft, but if it does manage to break that, it's got some room down to 380 to drop. So Tesla, I thought would need, bounce a little bit. It's just getting hammered on. It's got a bullish divergence going on the daily. You get the lower lows on the price and higher lows on the RSI and the histogram. So to me, plus on the weekly, it likes to bounce at this 160 area. So we'll have to see if it does. I'd watch it over 164 for push to 165, 170, 175, 180. 185, get a gap fill over 185 to 190. So Tesla could bounce this week. We'll have to see if that actually ends up happening. Netflix is kind of having trouble over the 600. Well, it's over 600, but the 620 area, it's getting rejected once it gets over 620. So we'll have to see if it actually does manage to break down. But it's got strong support here at 600. So if it does manage to break 600. And we get some room for it to drop. We got room down to 595, 590, 585, 580, and we got 575. So we definitely got some room for Netflix to fall on that. NVIDIA just, it does not seem to have, we have not had a red week since the whole year. The whole year has, actually it was the first day, the first week of the year was red, but barely red. And it's just been green and just taking off. It's doubled in less than 3 months. The stock has doubled because it was at 500 and it was almost at 1,974. So the stock has almost gone up 100% from right here, which is ridiculous. Maybe it's starting to cool off. I don't know, but every time I say that, it ends up finding higher. It ends up going higher. So I would watch it under 870 for push to 850, 800, 750, 700. You get the 650, 660 area down here. But also watch it over 900. Gets over 900, it's probably going to end up going to 1,000. So NVIDIA, every time it shows a sign of weakness, it gets weak, it bounces. It gets weak, it bounces. But it is putting lower highs. We'll have to see if that actually does anything or if it's just another massive short trap. So that's going to do it for the watch list. Not really much to really be excited for except for FOMC. And I mean, look at the RSI on the NVIDIA's weekly. It's at 88. That's just ridiculous. But like I said, I'm expecting just gap and grind. We're going to have slow grinding days. Probably a $1.50, $2 range days if we're lucky until FOMC. So yeah, not looking forward to it. But that's going to do it for the watch list, and thanks for watching.